Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back to a time of knights and gladiators. Back to a time where two competitors would face off in an arena, head to head, for only one would be left standing. Now obviously, these types of games don't exist today, but many modern day sports and games are built around the same head-to-head concept, such as boxing, fencing, tennis, and the list goes on. Today, I'll be talking about a game that has been played and loved by millions since 600 AD because the very nature of the game calls for mental acuity, strategy, and perception. The game that I'll be talking about to you today is chess. So today I'm going to go over the basic fundamentals of chess and how to play it, each chess piece and how they function, and then I'll show you how to win a game of chess in as little as 2 moves. So this is what a chessboard looks like. You and your opponent will sit on opposite sides of a 64 square piece checkerboard, each with 16 pieces that have a distinct function. And the objective of the game is to capture your opponent's king. Your king is your most valuable piece, and it can only move 1 square but in any direction. So as you can see, if your king was right on this square, it can move 1 square but in any direction. This piece is your most valuable piece, as if your opponent captures your king, you will lose the match no matter how many pieces are left on the board. Now as with any king, there must be the queen. The queen is undoubtedly your strongest piece because she can move any number of squares in any direction. She can move up, down, side to side, or diagonally for any number of squares. And your queen stands right next to your king, and beside your queen is your bishop. The bishop is a powerful piece since it can move any number of squares diagonally. However, it cannot move from side to side or up to down. So if your bishop was right here, it can move diagonally for any number of squares, but it cannot move from side to side or up to down. Next to the bishop on the board is the knight, or the horse, as some people call it for obvious reasons. The knight is a very distinct piece, as it can only move 3 squares but in an L shape. For example, if your knight was right here on this square, it can move 1, 2, 3 in an L shape, 1, 2, 3 in an L shape, or 1, 2, 3 in an L shape, and so on and so forth. You also begin with 2 knights in the beginning of the game. Beside the knight is the rook. The rook can move horizontally or vertically for any number of squares. So if your rook was right here, it can move vertically or horizontally for any number of squares. And you also begin with 2 rooks at the start of the game. Now that I've gone over your more valuable pieces, let's talk about the foot soldiers that hold up the front line of the army. This is the pawn, and you begin with 8 pawns at the start of the game. At the beginning of the game, you have the choice of either moving your pawn 1 square up or 2 squares up, 1, 2. However, you can only move 2 squares up 1 time for each pawn. Your pawn only moves forward, but can attack diagonally if an enemy pawn is adjacent to it. So you can attack pawn if it was right there. So now that I've gone over each piece and how they function, let me demonstrate to you how to win a game of chess in as little as 2 moves. So what you want to do for this strategy is you want to start off as the black team, as for whatever reason in chess, the white team always goes first. So if your opponent, if you're lucky, opens up by having their pawn in front of their bishop, moving up 2 squares. What you want to do is then take your pawn in front of your king and move it up 1 square, So your queen is allowed to leave the base and attack your opponent's king. If your opponent is still oblivious to your strategy, he or she will move his pawn in front of the knight 2 squares up, opening their king further to attack. What you want to do then is to bring your queen all the way down to attack your opponent's king. Now the only choices for your opponent now is to either move out of your line of attack, block the line of attack with another piece, or kill your queen. However, none of these choices are possible, as the king, as you remember, can only move 1 square in any direction, which still puts it in the line of attack. Also, there are no pieces that have the ability to block the line of attack, as the bishop can only move diagonally and the horse can only move in an L shape. And lastly, there are no pieces that are in position to kill the queen. So what just happened here is you checkmated your opponent and won the match in just 2 moves. So ladies and gentlemen, I've gone over the basic fundamentals of chess, each chess piece and how they function, and how to win a chess game in as little as 2 moves. Even if you still don't understand or are reluctant to try, just give the game of chess a chance. Soon, you'll find that you can't stop playing this wonderful game. Thank you.